Welcome back, adventurers, once again to Let's Play Chaos Child. And in the last episode, it's been announced this week that Kawahara, the Vice President of Hekio Academy Student Council, is an arse. But seriously, references aside, Kawahara did prove once and for all what an irredeemable scumbag he was by not only using Hinae Arimura to locate where Kurusu was living and the fallout of everything that has happened. But it turns out that his selfishness truly does know no bounds because of the fact that not only did he brazenly and blatantly declare his own love for Kurusu, he also admitted the fact that he sees everyone else other than her a complete and total nuisance, not only to Kuru Miyashiro, but also Yuto, Uki, possibly the late Yui if she was still alive, and even Kurusu's friend Senri Minamisawa was nothing more than a hindrance. In other words, Kawahara pretty much clearly demonstrated his true character once and for all, even though it's a true character that we've pretty much known about from the moment we first laid eyes on him way back when. And yet, even still, Kurusu is trying her best to moderate the situation, even though she of all people is as irritated by Kawahara's slovenly behavior as much as anyone else. But yeah, I think it is entirely clear what a pond scum he is. But Kawahara aside, when it came to Senri Minamisawa, it seems that Hinae Arimura still has her doubts about Kurusu's account on that. Now, something that we did learn way back when was the fact that Kurusu was lying when she claimed that she was there when Senri Minamisawa was killed in the Shibuya earthquake 6 years ago. That was proven to be false. And even now, at this very moment, Hinae still has doubts about Kurusu's accuracy regarding Senri Minamisawa. I apologize for the extremely convoluted way in which I pitched my own thoughts and feelings regarding this matter. But as I did state in the last episode, I'm pretty sure Hinae has convinced herself that Kurusu's lying about Senri stems from the possibility that Kurusu and Senri were never friends to begin with. They never actually met. But we do actually have evidence to the contrary, and that is first and foremost the photograph of Kurusu, Senri, and Kawahara. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Kawahara has a copy, although given his latest outburst, I'm pretty sure he has torn Senri completely out of the photo. Though actually, come to think of it, I take that back. I'm pretty sure that Kurusu is the only one who has a photo of all three of them. Period. End of story. Yeah, so it's not that that part of their friendship is in question, at least in my mind, and I feels incredibly differently, as I'm pretty sure we're about to learn or hear about from her. But there are definitely certain aspects regarding her friendship with Senri that she is being deliberately vague about.
Huh?
But enough rambling from me. We need to hear what Hinae has. Well, it would be courteous for us to listen to what Hinae has to say. I'll phrase it more moderately.
それも南沢千里っていう人のことで何か隠してます。
Okay, so, well, I guess I have to eat my own words, as it were, because Hinae is, I think, well, by that I of course mean that I was jumping to conclusions there, because Hinae seems to be thinking along the same lines that I am. It's not, the fact that Senri Minamisawa and Nono Kurusu were friends isn't the issue here. The issue is the fact that there are certain details that don't add up. My heart thudded loudly.
どうしてそんなこと？
どうしてって、先輩も知ってるじゃないですか、私の能力のこと。
Yeah, your ability allows you to say that when somebody's lying about something. But that's just it. All you know is the fact that Kurusu is lying about certain statements. But knowing when someone is lying isn't the same as knowing the truth about that lie. That is the double-edged flaw in your ability there.
それはそうだけど。
She was lying. Nono was lying? To me? I was worried about Senri Minamisawa as well, but between the two, that was the biggest shock.
それは確かなことなのか？
なんなら私の能力もう一度お見せしましょうか。
I could see her D-sword floating out of the corner of my eye.
いや、大丈夫だ。
Nono was hiding something. But why?
実は昨日話した時に気づいたんですよ。ほら、川原先輩と南沢千里さんの話してたでしょ。あの時クルス先輩、南沢千里さんは死んだって言ってたけど。
嘘だってのか？じゃあ南沢千里は生きてる？
Unfortunately, now that it's been stated, we can't actually discount the possibility. But if Senri Minamisawa really is alive, where has she been these past 6 years?
と、
Unless...
クルス先輩は思っているってことになりますね。
Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe Kurusu refuses to believe that Senri is really dead, even when she knows that for a fact. That could be the case as well. But that doesn't really get us anywhere in terms of the truth. She was alive. Senri Minamisawa was alive. But why would Nono have to hide that?
それから彼女のことよく知らないって言ってましたが、あれも嘘ですね。
Well, that's definitely in line with my thinking as well. What Arimoto was saying was probably true. Nono knew Senri Minamisawa very well. But again, why would she deliberately hide that fact behind a lie? In fact, she didn't have to lie on that front. So why did she? And she believed that she was alive. Why did she think so? There were two possibilities. One was that she knew for a fact that Minamisawa was actually alive. The other was that she wanted to believe. And as of right now, we can't discount either possibility. If she'd consistently said she thought Senri was dead, then...
まあ今となっては事件のすべては尾上セリカによるものなわけだし、だから南沢千里さんのことはどうでもいいのかもしれないですけど、でもちょっと気になったもんで。
But there was also the fact that Riko Haida had managed to get a hold of Senri Minamisawa's identification card, which Kurusu herself had buried beneath the earthquake memorial. It's no coincidence that that happened, that Riko Haida was deliberately made to seem like Senri.
それじゃあ宮代先輩、私たちはここで。
That's what Hinae wanted to say to us without Kurusu overhearing.
先輩？
But be that as it may, this is still a lot for Takuru to process. Siriko Noe was one thing, but Nono Kurusu lying to him? Again? Keeping secrets? Going against her own house rules? Yeah.
なんだよ和樹、いきなりつねるなんて痛いじゃないか。
さっきから話しかけてるのに宮代先輩がぼーっとしてるからですよ。ね
え。Really? That's your reason?
うん。
Never mind the fact that Takuru was actually pondering about something very important.
そっか。
This isn't something we can sweep under the rug for the sake of a comedy routine, you know.
ひょっとして私余計なことをやっちゃいました？
You should know better than anyone that that was never going to be an option. Ever.
いや、いいんだ。別に大したことじゃない。
そうですか。だったらいいんですけど。
To be fair, it's your fault that you brought it up in the first place. You can hardly lay it against us. I said goodbye to the two of them and headed back to the apartment. The whole way back, I couldn't stop thinking about the fact that Nono might be lying to me. Why? For what purposes? The same questions kept spinning about in my mind. Questions that we need answers to if we are to uncover the reality behind these events.
家族の間で隠し事はしないこと。これだけは守ってほしいの。もう家族がバラバラにならないように。
And yet, Kurusu has broken her own house rule. She still has secrets. Secrets that she is keeping from Takuru. Secrets that will almost certainly tear apart this pseudo-family as it was 6 years ago. Sorry, 6 months ago, I think. Yeah, that's right. 6 months, not 6 years. Nana was the one who'd said that. No secrets. No lies. That was the one promise that kept us together. But now that I think about it, everyone else but her actually made that promise. But...
おかえり、タクル。
You have some explaining to do, Madam Empress. When I got back, Nono was the same as ever. Almost did a Takuru there and... Actually, you know what? After this, I won't be surprised if Takuru goes back to referring to her as Kurusu again, as I almost just did.
和樹たち、ちゃんと帰った？
They were never in danger to begin with.
うん、途中までだったけど。
There was no sign of the awkwardness there had been when she was talking to Arimura. But...
さっきの話だけど。
さっきのって？
南沢千里の。
Yeah. We need to solve this mystery regarding Senri once and for all. No ifs, ands, or buts.
ごめん。その話はもうやめてもらえるかな。
どうして？
Personal privacy and sanctity of her memory is one thing. But lying about her, in spite of that promise, that's a little bit too suspicious for my liking.
だって死んでしまった友達のことを思い出すのはとても辛いことだから。
And if Arimura was still here, we would know that Kurusu was lying about a statement.
ご飯もうすぐできるからテーブルの上片付けてくれる？
And of course she goes back to pretending like nothing's happened.
わかったよ。
Can't exactly press her too far. It was obvious that Nana was avoiding talking about Senri Minamisawa. Maybe it didn't matter at this point, but I would beg to differ. Still, something was bothering me, like a thorn pricking at my heart. Senri Minamisawa. Maybe I needed to learn more about her. Unfortunately, the only person who knows anything about her is Kurusu. And Kawahara is no help. It was one thing to decide to learn more about Senri Minamisawa, but the question was how to go about it. I asked Kunosato and Shinjo, but they didn't have much to tell me. They knew nothing about beyond what we'd found at the basement of AH Tokyo General Hospital. They had a file, but for some reason she wasn't with the patients that were being kept there before they'd been taken away. Which meant that I had to ask someone who did know. To be honest, I wasn't happy with the idea, but I didn't have much choice. So we have to ask somebody other than Nano Kurusu about Senri Minamisawa. This is going to be a pain in the ass. I'm not looking forward to this. I'm really not looking forward to this. But I wanted to talk to him. This was the best place to catch him. Of course, he's in no mood to be talked to by us, and the feeling's mutual. We really would not want to talk to him. We really wish that the circumstances were other than what they are. Unfortunately, he is the only lead we have, even if he is, God damn it. I'm actually quite genuinely angry right now. Just so you know. Nana would ask questions if I'd left the house in my school uniform, so I went without it. That meant I stood out like a sore thumb. I recognized some of the students passing by, but they didn't pay any attention to me. They just chatted with their friends as they walked by. Ah, high school cliques. I waited for about 30 minutes. This is going to be very painful. Finally, he appeared from the other side of the school gate. Let's get this over with.
Miyashiro?
God damn it. Yeah. Didn't want to have to do this either. Kawahara frowned when he saw me. I knew he didn't like me, but he also probably felt awkward after what had happened yesterday. Which can only be a good sign, and only a minor redeemable feature.
ちょっと話があるんだけど、いいですか?
But only very minor. Of course, we're going to have to be specific about him, with him, about what we're actually trying to talk about. Or who, rather.
もしかして、俺に宣戦布告でもしに来たか?
No, you were the one with the, who slapped us in the face with the white gauntlet first.
え? なんだ? クルスに手を出すなって言いに来たわけじゃないのか? それなら少しは見直してやるところだったのにな。
Utter scumbag. Absolute piece of shit. Also, I think you're lying. You wouldn't have respected us if Takuru had said to stay away from Kurusu. And you deserve none of our respect whatsoever. Unfortunately, when it comes to dealing with anyone outside of the newspaper club, Kawahara included, Takuru is in a bit of a mess. Kawahara seemed to misunderstand how things stood between me and Nono. Then again, he misunderstands a great many things.
で?
Well, Takuru, if now is the time to be direct with him about Senri Minamisawa, this is it. Not gonna get another chance.
Eh?
God damn it, Takuru.
話があるんだろ? だったらさっさと言えよ。
Kawahara didn't even bother to hide his irritation with me. People were staring at us as they walked by.
その、もしよかったら、どこか別の場所で。
I don't think he's inclined to acquiesce to our requests. Kawahara sighed and started to walk. I followed him. Well, that's the first time I've been wrong.
この辺でいいだろう。
He was standing on the side of a road, without even a bench. It felt like his way of saying that he didn't want to talk for long. Neither do we.
早く言えよ。言っとくが俺は、お前の顔すら見たくないんだからな。
As I said at the start of this episode, you, good sir, are an ass. I stand by that. I could tell from his tone that his hatred toward me was building. Building? It's already there. But I felt the same way. I just wanted to ask him my question and get the hell out of here.
その川原君は南沢千里さんと友達だったんですよね。
Unfortunately, starting in a vague roundabout way, is not the best strategy.
南沢？お前がなんで急にあんな奴のこと聞きたがるんだよ。
That's just it. We don't know anything about this person.
それはちょっと気になることがあって。
別に南沢はクルスと仲が良かっただけで、俺はあいつのことを友達だなんて思ってない。
I hate you. Not as much as I hate a certain someone from a completely unrelated series, whose name I shall not speak in this episode. I don't hate you as much as him, but I do hate you, Kawahara. I could tell that from the way he'd acted the other day. In other words, he's only interested in Kurusu as a means of enshrining his own self-importance. If Kurusu wasn't the person that Kawahara thought she was, he wouldn't even give her the time of day. What a bastard, am I right?
その南沢さんはどういう人だったんでしょう。
そんなことクルスに聞けばいいだろう。あいつの方がずっと仲が良かったんだから。
Yeah, we're running back into this roadblock again.
クルスはあんまり覚えてないって言ってます。
覚えてない？そんなはずないだろ。俺だって覚えてるんだ。俺なんかよりずっと一緒にいたクルスが覚えてないわけない。
Well, at least we're finally getting somewhere. And if Kawahara of all people is contradicting Kurusu's statements, that means we're on the right track.
例えば
Kawahara glared at me, but then he sighed and started to talk.
南沢は初めて会った時から気味の悪いやつだったよ。
Not as creepy as yourself, I would say.
いつも暗い顔して顔色も悪くて、声も小さくて何言ってんだかわかんねえし、陰気を絵に描いたようなやつで、まんまクルスの引き立て役だよ。そうだな、そういうとこお前にちょっと似てるかもな。
Two things. First of all, this look on your face, Kawahara. That is the textbook definition of creepy. And second of all, about that last statement of yours, something tells me in my intuition that that's how you see Kurusu. That her only role in life is to make you look better by comparison. You utter piece of shit. He laughed. Yeah, truly you are a one-dimensional, dull, boring, uninteresting person. Your entire existence is boring to me, good sir. He wasn't even trying to hide his disgust with me anymore. Yeah, it's only a matter of time before he finally starts seeing Kurusu the exact same way. Bastard. But I didn't care. I do, but...
それで彼女はどういう家とか。
ああああ、確か親が怪しげな新興宗教にハマっててさ。
Ah. You've actually given me quite the puzzle piece there, Kawahara. Not that that amounts to any amount of respect. But what it means is that Senri Minamisawa is in the same boat as Uki Yamazoe. And it pains me that I didn't come to that conclusion far sooner. In other words, Senri's parents, like Uki's, were involved with the Church of Divine Light.
新興宗教。
名前までは忘れちまったけど、それで毎週日曜になるとそこの施設に通ってんだって言ってた。
Yeah, Age Tokyo General Hospital. It should start to become obvious to you, Takuru.
どこっつってたかな。確かでっかい病院の地下とか言ってたな。
Another revelation. Even if it is vague, from Kawahara's perspective, he knows about the underground facility. And come to think of it, didn't we hear this from Kurusu herself?
H 東京総合病院。
そこだよそこ。なんだ、お前知ってんのか。
You could say that.
いや、そういうわけじゃ。
And that is a lie. So Senri Minamisawa had been going there after all. Well, we already figured that out. But wait, did that place belong to some kind of cult back then? Yes, it did, Takuru. Yes, it did.
ああ、そういや。
He must have started to remember as he talked, because he was speaking faster and more clearly, which is a good sign for us.
いつも長袖着て隠してたけど、体育の時にチラッと見えたんだよ。そしたら腕に針の跡とかいっぱいあってさ。
Needle marks on her arms, you say?
だんだん学校も休むようになって。今考えるとやばいよな、あれ。
Yeah, not that you cared either way about that one bit, did you, Kawahara? That she was being experimented on.
そんなだからうちの親なんかにも、あいつとは付き合うなって言われてたんだけど、 クルスが付き合うもんだから。
That's because Kurusu was the only friend Senri had. Kawahara's tone became sharper and angrier as he remembered the past. As I listened to him, of course, I was remembering the girl named Senri Minamisawa, albeit in a slightly different context. I was sure her parents had taken her to that research lab. She was undergoing experiments there every week. But wait, the reason that you were in there was because you were investigating the urban legend of Amy. Or perhaps that too was a delusion. Actually, no. This is Takuru thinking in the present tense, obviously. So never mind that. The goal, of course, was to awaken her gigolomaniac powers. I didn't know if her parents had agreed to the experiments, but it was easy to imagine that she hadn't wanted to do them herself. Of course not. And there was one more thing I could tell from this conversation. That was...
ねえ、そのことをクルスは。
知ってるに決まってるだろ。さっきも言ったように、あいつは俺よりもずっと南沢と親しかったんだ。
She was there, all right, Takuru.
しょっちゅう悩みを打ち明けられたりしてたみたいだし、あいつの両親のことだって俺なんかよりもずっと知ってるはずだよ。
Yeah. That's called empathy there, Kawahara. Something that you clearly know nothing about, or care about for that matter. But also confirms one other thing. That, yeah. Kurusu does know about Senri's parents. But she is deliberately trying not to remember that.
そもそも今の話だってほとんどガキの頃にクルスから聞いた話だしな。
Wait.
そう。
よーってのはそれだけか。
Well, judging by that arrogant expression on your face, we're about done here.
うん。ありがとう。
Yeah.
なんなんだよ。なんで俺がこんなこと。
I bowed to Kawahara and turned to go.
おい、宮代。
I heard his voice behind me.
クルスに早く学校に来るように伝えろ。それから、もしまたクルスに何かあったりしてみろ。ただじゃ済まさねえからな。
First of all, she's not going to be student council president for much longer. And second of all, you're going to punish Takuru even if something happens to Kurusu beyond his control. May we never meet again. Once he was done talking, he walked off. But to be honest, I didn't care. What was important was that we know some very crucial details.
ごめんなさい。千里とは友達だったけど、あの子の家のこととかあまりよく知らないのよ。だからもういいでしょ。
Yeah, Kurusu was lying about that. as Hinae suspected. But Kurusu's intentions... well, they're far more honorable than Kawahara's, I can tell you that much. Kurusu wants to cherish the memories that she had with Senri. That is the reason why she lied. Not for anything nefarious, but sadly that doesn't change the fact that Nono was lying to me after all. Nono was hiding something. Something involving Senri Minamisawa, and we're going to have to confront her with that, even after she'd promised that she wouldn't keep any secrets, which meant that that was a lie too. I had dinner and took a bath. Yuto and Uki had already gone to sleep. Well, that helps matters. Nono had her textbook out on the table. Even when she wasn't going to school, she was still keeping up with her studies, ever the diligent one. She'd asked her friends about what subjects they were covering and kept up with them at home. As student council president, she was trying to set an example, which is more than what could be said for Kawahara. I got my Pokecom online, but nothing I was seeing was going into my head. I was trying to figure out how to bring things up with Nono.
もうなに
But even if we do, this might not end well.
何が？
さっきから何か言いたそうにしてるでしょ
Indeed we have. Something that needs to be said. But once we do say it, things will never be the same again.
どうして？
それくらいわかるわよ。タクルのことだもん。
Was that because we were family? But then why?
ちょっと外いいか？
Yeah, we can't avoid this any longer.
うん。
We've put it off for far too long. I went outside with Nono. Of course, we couldn't go too far with the little ones to think about, so we only took a few steps from the apartment. Nono followed after me, confused. I really hate to do this, but we have no choice. She looked just a bit nervous, probably because she wasn't sure why I'd asked her to come out here with me. But she'll know soon enough. I turned around to face Nono. That was unexpected.
なに改まって。もしかして告白でもしてくれるの
Not that it matters, but pretty sure Kawahara would probably, almost certainly want to beat the living shit out of us if he heard this.
は？何言ってんだよいきなり。
Also, Kurusu is derailing the subject.
だってこんな夜にわざわざ外に連れ出すなんてそんな感じじゃない
Then again, to be fair, if I'm being honest, it's probably to Kurusu, this is probably far more of a romantic thing than anything that Kawahara has done. Which, to be fair, isn't that much of a stretch. It was true that maybe you could interpret the situation that way. Maybe.
もうわかってる。冗談よ。そんなにうろたえなくてもいいじゃない。まあ、もし冗談じゃなかったとしても、私としては嬉しいけど。
からかうのはよせよ。
I took a deep breath to help me focus as I got ready to change the subject.
タクル？
It's now or never. A look of tension appeared on her face when she saw how I was acting.
あのさ、正直に答えてほしいんだけど。
うん。
I'll hold you to that.
お前、僕に隠し事してないか？
In the end, all I could do was ask her straight out.
え？
嘘ついてることあるんじゃないのか？
なに急に。どうしていきなりそんなこと言うの？
Nono smiled, but I could tell. She was forcing herself to smile.
言ったよな。家族の間に隠し事はしないって。あの約束破ってないか？
Indeed. Drawing the line in the sand, Nono Kurusu. You were the one who made that promise. You were the one who enforced that promise. If you lay down that law, you are not exempt from it.
ノノ。
Maybe she had her reasons. But even so, promise is a promise. I was tired of it all. I was tired of being betrayed. I was tired of having the people I cared about lie to me. There was a moment's silence. It was Nono who broke it.
信じて。
Huh? Her voice was so tiny I could barely hear it.
お願い。信じて。
ノノ。
これじゃ答えにならないっていうのは分かってる。でも今はお願い。
In the darkness, I couldn't see the look on her face, but her voice was full of sorrow and pain. Unless I trusted Nono, we could never truly be a family. Nono had said she wouldn't hide anything else. She said she wouldn't lie anymore. I was tired of being lied to, like when I found out about my parents' death. I didn't ever want to go through what I experienced when I found out that Serica was behind the killings again. So all I could do now was...
わかった。僕はノノを信じ。
相変わらず甘いね、タクは。
I was wondering when you were about to make your move. Actually, coming out here at the dead of night like this was, not the right call. A bitter voice echoed in the darkness. The clouds split, and the moon shone down to reveal the person in the darkness. Her D-sword shone in the moonlight, and a broken smile was plastered on her lips.
Onoe.
Yes, she has returned. A cold chill of terror ran down my spine, and I could feel myself start to sweat. I let my guard down. I thought that if I was lucky, I might never see her again. And I started to think that maybe I would be that lucky. Unfortunately, luck was never a factor in all this. I never thought she'd just show up out of nowhere like this.
いい気なものだな、クルスの。
Indeed. Also, the question of the fact that you could literally have just murdered us in our sleep.
セリカ、何をしに来たの？
それくらいわからないのか。
あなたみたいな人が考えることなんてわかるわけないわ。
あなたみたいな人。まるで自分だけが宮代拓を大切にしている。そんな言い方だな。気に入らない。
Well, throwing it right back at you, Sarika. If you actually cared about Takuru, you wouldn't have done any of this stuff. But oh well.
私はあなたとは違う。タクルのため、タクルが望んでいるから、そんな理由をつけてタクルを悲しませているあなたとは違うのよ。
I could almost see the invisible flames building up between them.
まあいい。聞きたいと言うなら教えてやろう。私がここに来たのは、お前からもらったものを返してやるためだ。
Sarika laughed in twisted glee. Because of course she has telekinesis. That wasn't the Sarika I knew. The naive, ditzy girl that was always by my side was gone now. Even though she never existed.
もらったもの？何のことかわからないけれど、その必要はないわ。持って帰ってくれて結構よ。
おお、ずいぶんと気前がいいんだな。だが、そういうわけにはいかない。
Well, one could hope.
あいにく、やられたことはきちんとやり返す主義でね。
So that is the question. What did Nano Kurusu do to Sarika Inoue? Does something to her.
気をつけろ、ノノ。尾上は報復するつもりだ。
報復？そう。つまり、あなたはタクルを取られた復讐に来たってわけね。でも。
Something tells me that Sarika is here for revenge against Kurusu. But not because of Takuru. That's too simplistic. Nano pulled her D-sword from the void and readied it in front of Sarika's face. But Sarika didn't move a muscle. She just kept smiling.
血の気の多い女だ。それがお前の本性というわけか。いいか、復讐というのは何も力によってのみ遂行されるものじゃない。
どういう意味？
例えば、お前が必死になって隠していること、宮代拓が知ったらどう思うかな。
Unfortunately, it is as Serica says. Kurusu is still hiding something from Takuru. And that something is actually going to be very crucial. Perhaps to unraveling the entire sequence of events. But then we have to ask the question, don't we? How is Nano Kurusu tied into the return of the new generation madness? When we return, adventurers, one way or another, we might finally have our answers. As always, until next we meet.